Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK and it is Thursday, the 1st of February. Crazy, crazy. We're in February. I'm used to 2024, I think. No, I'm not. Okay, never mind. Happy Thursday. And on the morning show, we look at the new releases that are being set into the wild. And on Thursdays, we look at fantasy and science fiction. The other days of the week, we look at different genres like cozy mysteries and romance. And today we do fantasy sci-fi. Good morning, Annalise. How are you doing? How's the baby bunny? I am on the verge of officially DNFing a book because I'm on the verge of it creating a book slump in me. I haven't officially decided yet, but I've been wanting to read. My intention in February was to read a lot more of the fantasy books that I've been wanting to get to, and we are cozy. Oh, fabulous! Snuggle with that baby. Um, so my first official one I've been meaning to get to was Once Upon a Broken Heart by I think it's Stephanie Garber. And yeah. And it is categorized as young adult. And perhaps it is suffering more from being next to a big epic fantasy by Brandon Sanderson. But this isn't reading necessarily as young adult, it's reading very juvenile. And it's irritating me. And like I say, it's kind of pushing me into a slump right now. So I think, I don't know if I'm going to pause it or if I'm DNFing, but I hate it when that happens. All right, let's get rid of this banner and look at new stuff. Of course, the big one that came out this week that everybody was all a flitter about is House of Flame and Shadow. This is third in the Crescent City series or trilogy. Very pretty cover. I know a lot of booktubers reread the first two books in anticipation of this one. So let's just see what it is about. I've not read those books. The stunning third book in the sexy, action-packed Crescent City series. Bryce Quinlan never expected to see a world other than Midgard, but now that she has, all she wants is to get back. Everything she loves is in Midgard, her family, her friends, her mate. Stranded in a strange new world, she's going to need all her wits about her to get home again, and that's no easy feat when she has no idea who to trust. Hunt Athalar has found himself in some deep holes in his life, but this one might be the deepest of all. After a few brief months with everything he ever wanted, he's in the Asteri's dungeon again, stripped of his freedom and without a clue as to Bryce's fate. He's desperate to help her, but until he can escape the Asteri's leash, his hands are quite literally tied. It sounds most definitely like you need to read these in order, as you should. Um, These, I don't know if I said what these are by Sarah J. Maas. First book is House of Earth and Blood, if you want to do that. And it's 800 pages. And Kio's got the hiccups. It's okay, babies. You don't need the hiccups. It's okay. Oh, baby. I try to talk him out of hiccups, but really, can you talk people out of hiccups? I don't think so. Okay, he's not a people, but he's, same thing. All right, moving on. Dungeon Heart, Chainbreaker by David Sanchez Ponton, fifth in the Dragonheart series. And it's Kindle Unlimited. The gods are here, time to expand or be consumed. With the gods now aware of his existence, a desperate smith finds a sliver of hope that could help him survive. A long forgotten entity, more ancient than the Ascended themselves. Yet searching for it sends him closer to the abyss and the demons that wait within. Gathering his allies, Smith must dive into the unknown dungeon and guide his creatures against his own kin. If he fails in this dangerous gamble for his survival, Smith will find himself subdued forevermore as a slave to the new gods. If he succeeds, he'll be one step closer to ascending to godhood himself. ... The Burning Witch 2. What do you always say? There's no shame in DNFing. Absolutely. Set it down. It's definitely being set down before I throw it down. I just don't know if it's a permanent set down. I'm feeling like it is. Good morning, Mary. Happy February 1st and Thursday, Friday Eve. Mary! The Burning Witch 2, a humorous romantic fantasy by Delamock. Just one name, Delamock. Okay. A fiery young witch contends with magical adversaries, courtly fights, and unexpected attractions in this romantasy set in the world of the House Witch. Lady Katarina Asherwan has never quite fit the mold of a noblewoman, and it's not only because she's a mutated fire witch. Though she's the closest friend and confidant of Alina, the soon-to-be coronated Queen of Troyvac, Kat would much rather play cards with questionable characters or steal out at night to go riding than bandy niceties with suitors and deal with affairs of state. Sorry, tickles. So as soon as Alina is officially crowned, the young witch plans to put away her dresses and get into some real adventure, training with a master swordsman. But her journey to knightly prowess is proving more complicated than she thought it would be. For one thing, her future teacher isn't exactly thrilled at the prospect of their arrangement. Worse, unknown adversaries seem determined to stop Alina from actually assuming the throne. Kat's magical abilities, meanwhile, keep growing and changing in unpredictable and potentially dangerous ways. And despite her best efforts, she still can't manage to suppress her attraction to Alina's brother, Eric, the crown prince of Daxaria. Actually, kind of a pretty cover. In kind of a tarot card kind of way, though that has nothing to do with the story, it looks like. The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. Slip into a lush world of magic, stardust, and monsters. This is a debut author. We should have a bell. I need to get sound effects. For centuries, the Everleys have seen their best and brightest disappear, taken as punishment for a crime no one remembers, for a purpose no one understands. Their tormentor, a woman named Penelope, never ages, never grows sick, and never forgives a debt. Violet Everly was a child when her mother left on a stormy night, determined to break the curse. When Marianne never returns, Penelope issues an ultimatum. Violet has 10 years to find her mother, or she will take her place. Violet is the last of the Everly line, the last to suffer, unless she can break the curse first. Her hunt leads her into a seductive, magical underworld of power-hungry scholars, fickle gods, and monsters bent on revenge, and into the path of Penelope's quiet assistant, Alexander, who she knows cannot be trusted, and yet to whom she finds herself undeniably drawn. With her time running out, Violet will travel the edges of the world to find Marianne and the key to the City of Stardust where the Everly story began. That is also a very nice cover. Fantasy has some very nice covers. Yet interestingly, notice that the light there and the buildings very not medieval fantasy kind of setting, if you follow. A Quantum Love Story by Mike Chen. The only thing harder than finding someone in a time loop is losing them. Grieving her best friend's recent death, neuroscientist Mariana Pineda's ready to give up everything to start anew, even her career, after one last week consulting at a top secret particle accelerator. Oh dear, that's not gonna be good. Except the strangest thing happens. A man stops her and claims they've met before. Carter Cho knows who she is, why she's mourning, why she's there. And he needs Mariana to remember everything he's saying, because time is about to loop. In a flash of energy, it's Monday morning again. Together, Mariana and Carter enter an inevitable life 4 days at a time, over and over, without permanence except for what they share. But just as they figure out this new life, everything changes because Carter's memories of the time loop are slowly disappearing, and their only chance at happiness is breaking out of the loop forever. I like time loop stories if they're done well. That has potential. Well, I'm starting the month off right with this. Oh, very nice. Oh, that cover and Stardust. Yeah. Yes, enjoy that. Another pretty cover. Fantasy has very pretty covers. The Dark Fable by Catherine Harbour. I believe this is a young adult. Magical heists, deadly secrets. Come along for the ride if you dare. Seductive fantasy. Okay, hang on. Evie Wilder is an orphan who has gone through most of her life unnoticed until she's caught up in a dramatic heist and captures the attention of the Dark Fable. They have chosen her for a reason. She can turn invisible. This skill would make Evie a treasured asset to the legendary group of thieves known for spiriting away obscure and occult artifacts. Evie cannot resist their allure and is eager to join this newfound family, but she discovers there are more skeletons in the Dark Fable's past than she could have ever imagined. And these secrets might be the answer to her own tragic past. No one who no one is who they seem to be, and the price of uncovering the Dark Fable's cryptic history just might be fatal. So Fatal Fable would be better. And I'm realizing as we are chatting here that part of my disgruntlement at Once Upon a Broken Heart that I'm probably going to DNF is I had hopes, so that disappointment is, you know, but I should be glad that I don't have 3 books to add to my TBR now. And perhaps I am discovering that the young adult versions of fantasy aren't for me. They are too young adult for me, unless they are extremely, extremely well written. But um, these are things to learn. And part of, I guess, the discovery process of focusing on fantasy in February is not that I have to read every single one of them. It's to have touched them, experienced them, not necessarily to have read them in full. Okay, we're growing, we're learning. Heart Song. We're moving on. Heart Song by TJ Klune. Third in the Green Creek series. A beloved fantasy romance sensation. The Bennett family has a secret. They're not just a family, they're a pack. Oh dear. All Robbie Fontaine ever wanted was a place to belong. After the death of his mother, he bounces around from pack to pack, forming temporary bonds to keep from turning feral. It's enough until he receives a summons from the Wolf Stronghold in Caswell, Maine. Life as the trusted second to Michelle Hughes, the alpha of all, and the cherished friend of a gentle old witch, teaches Robbie what it means to be pack, to have a home. But when a mission from Michelle sends Robbie into the field, he finds himself questioning where he belongs and everything he's been told. Whispers of traitorous wolves and wild magic abound, but who are the traitors and who are the betrayed? More than anything, Robbie hungers for answers because one of those alleged traitors is Kelly Bennett, the wolf who may be his mate. The truth has a way of coming out, and when it does, everything will shatter. Once a Queen by Sarah Arthur. This might also be young adult. A mysterious manor hides the keys to shocking family secrets and rapidly fading portals to other worlds. When 14-year-old American Eva Joyce unexpectedly finds herself spending the summer at the mysterious manor house of the English grandmother she's never met, she soon discovers that her family, the manor staff, and even the house itself are hiding secrets. With odd things happening in the gardens at night, Eva embarks on a search for answers. Astonishingly, she learns that the hall's staff believes portals to other worlds exist, though hidden and steadily disappearing, and that Eva's grandmother was once a queen in one of those worlds. But her grandmother's heart is closed to the beauty and pain of the past. Now it's up to Eva to discover what really happened and to decide if it's possible that her favorite childhood fairy tales are true. As she starts unraveling the dangerous secrets around the grandmother who is more than she appears, Eva begins to wonder if she too is more than she understood herself to be. Forbidden Road by Ruth Barak. A powerless witch, an injured knight. Can two college students stuck in the past defeat a traitor who would destroy their own future? Kim Taylor knows the value of secrets. If the wrong people find out she's a witch, the final year college student will risk her family and her own existence. But living in hiding comes at a terrible price. Nobody is there to help her when a spell sends her to the distant past, with no memory of who she is. Without her powers to protect her, she unknowingly becomes an integral part of her father's plot to assassinate the king. Olympic fencer Seth Rivers needs a college degree to secure a steady job. But when he meets Kim and falls hard and fast for her captivating beauty and independence, he knows he will do anything to keep her safe, even going back in time and forgetting everything he knows. Except that now in the past, Kim is a traitor's daughter and Seth must protect his king. And in a world of dangerous magic, dragons, and violent knights, the life of a traitor's daughter is not something that Seth would think twice before sacrificing. Yep, I hope so. Lots of good covers in this group of books today. So much better than the romance ones yesterday. True. Very true. Well, that is all that I was able to find that was actually coming out this week. Really, the only one that sounded kind of interesting to me was a quantum love story here. And I need to figure out what I'm going to read. Let's go here. We got a couple minutes. I could let you guys go early, but why do that? But also, oh, you know what we could do? Here's what we could do. We are done with the midwinter Hiss Miss Readathon. How did you guys do? If you participated, did you find things that you maybe hadn't read before or decided, nope, this isn't for me, like I'm doing for probably young adult fantasy. But what I did manage to read, for me, of course, I read these all the time, but in January, I read The Impossible Imposter by Deanna Rayborn. This was seventh in series. I read A Gentleman of Dubious Reputation by Grace Burrows. That is second in a really, really, really good series set during Regency. I read a novella by Emma Jameson in the Bones series. Bones Takes a Holiday. Um, these were, I believe, three short stories put together. His Mistwise. Murder at the Merton Library by Andrea Penrose. I believe that one was also seventh. Yep, seventh in series. So I'm getting caught up on both those series. The big fabulous find of the month was The Right Sort of Man by Alison Montclair. This is set right after World War II in England, and I found out that Alison Montclair is a pseudonym for one of my very, very favorite authors, Alan Gordon. The banter in this was just absolutely fun. Picture like 1930s witty, clever banter with like Katharine Hepburn and Ginger Rogers in Stage Door. If you ever watched that movie, it was just, oh, loved it. And then I read The Glass House by Ashley Gardner. That's third in a big series. That was me coming back to this series after a while. And then yesterday I read a quick novella, London Interlude by Tracy Grant. This is being billed as point 0.6 in a series of like 28 books, but the 28 includes full books and novellas. This is also set during a Regency time, but more of the spy side of things. And the spies are married and not necessarily on the same side. So I had started that series many years ago, and but let it fall by the wayside. So I'm rereading some of the early stuff to get back in the swing of that. All right. Well, now we are at the end of time. Keep us. Always, always. Is there a challenge or something for February? So for February, what I am doing is fantasy. I'm not making it an official readathon kind of thing, but we're going to jump to my blog. And this was and you might notice it during the month of February. I changed my my thumbnail for the YouTube every month to kind of fit a theme, a personal theme that I'm doing. And so for me, I'm doing Fantasy February, and this is the image I have chosen for that. Although it kind of looks like Taylor Swift, who I don't really have a thing for, but I'm going to ignore that part. But that's what I'm kind of focusing on for February, because there's so many fantasy series I either need to get back to or need to try. Gosh, you really read a lot. Read a lot in January. I was It's not a competition. It's quality. You are not a rookie. It is spending time doing something you love. I read fast, and at least two of those were novellas, which went really, really fast. So none of that, young lady. I'll come find you in Virginia and go. Awesome. I will find a fantasy and try. There's some really, really good ones out there. Do you like a big trend right now is romantasy, which has a very, very, very strong romance element to it. One I read recently that is is good is Divine Rivals, um, by who's he was it? Don't read Fourth Ring. I'm warning you. Don't worry. Um, Rebecca Ross wrote Divine Rivals. That was good. If you like more epic kind of going on a quest kind of fantasy, um, I really, really, really enjoyed Elizabeth Moon's Paxenarian series, which starts with the sheep farmer's daughter. But there's so many out there. You will find something. I know. In that, I that's why I do these every morning. Want a good story. Okay, let me think about that too. Don't worry, no race or competition. Read when I can. Yeah. I mean, you have all kinds of family and events, and you're beating and you're doing shows, and I don't have those things. I just do this kind of stuff. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, or if you're watching it later, thank you for watching it later. And I hope you have a good Thursday. And like I'm discovering for myself, it's okay to set things down if they're not working for you. They're not, books aren't for everybody. There are lots of books in the sea, so to speak. Let's mix some metaphors there. But have a very good day. Read good things. Be safe. Be happy as you choose to, because that is a choice, even though things might not seem that way. You can always choose to find the light in the moment. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom, nom. Have a good day. Sprints tonight, 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. Hope to see you tonight. Have a good day. God bless.